Hello traders and welcome to the market opening preview on a Thursday, October 15th, 2015. Traders, great to be with you, coming to you live from Pattaya, Thailand. Bright blue sunny skies and white sandy beaches. Absolutely gorgeous this morning in Thailand. Yes, it is morning for me, folks, and it's actually 8:41 in the morning and it is 9:41 p.m. on Wall Street. Traders, this is brought to you through FXCL Excellence in Trading. Traders, got a couple of things to talk about today, and of course we have our 6 currency pairs we want to take a look at. Interesting markets in the last 48 hours, and we'll discuss that in just a moment. However, let's move along. Let me introduce myself to you. My name is William Gilday, and I'm your moderator for the Market Opening Preview Series every single trading day before the London Open. Traders, I do record this during the Asia session, so please keep that in mind. So when you're looking at charts, you can figure out where we're at. Traders, I started trading in 2006 after watching an infomercial on TV at 2 o'clock in the morning. Went to a webinar and decided, wow, this is for me. I love this Forex stuff. Traders, I ended up buying the software package for a large amount of money back in 2006, and in 2008, I retired from a wonderful 27-year career as a firefighter paramedic out of the great state of Florida. 9 days later, came to Thailand for a 3-month holiday. Well, traders, it's 8 years later, and I'm still in Thailand. It's just absolutely gorgeous. It's paradise, I have to tell you. It's absolutely paradise. And the people are fun, the food is excellent, and it's a great life for my second career. And I think I work harder now than I've ever worked, but I'm having a great time. I really enjoy it. Traders, what I look for is, I'm always looking for opportunities and probabilities on my side to win my trades. No, I don't win every trade, and, I probably win 6 out of 10, on average, something like that. And I'm always looking at price action, I'm looking at candlestick patterns, I'm looking at support and resistance. I use my Fibonacci tool a lot, of pivot points, and then I look at fundamentals, what's going on in the world. Remember, we're macro traders, so we need to see what's going on in the world, and we need to translate that into price action, so we have an idea of what's going on. It's not the old days of trading Forex where you can just trade charts. You have to do both today. That's just the way it is, because as you've seen in the last 5 trading days, we've seen some of these pairs really take a reversal here due to the Fed not making a decision on whether they're going to raise interest rates or not. And it's affecting our trading. And then we have a China slowdown, and that's affecting us really big. So that's basically what I look at every day. For a long day, I start at 6 a.m. in the morning, 6:30 in the morning, and I finish at about 11 o'clock at night. It allows me to trade all 3 trading sessions. And New York, only about 3 hours, because it gets pretty close to that 11 o'clock time, 11:30. And I can still get a good night's rest and be up at 5:30 the next day and get them charts up and flaring in my office by 6:30. All right, that's enough about me. Let's talk about a risk disclaimer. Forex trading has a large potential rewards, but also a large potential of risk. You must be aware of the risks and be willing to accept them in order to invest in the Forex markets. Most importantly, traders, please do not trade with money you cannot afford to lose. Do not trade your mortgage or rent money or your car payment. You have to use a demo account until you can afford to trade live. Traders, always remember that past performance of any trading system and methodology is not necessarily indicative of future results. All right, the legal stuff's done. Let's get over to news and commentary. So let's take a look at this crazy market. Let's take a look at how the indices did. I'm seeing a lot of red, folks. The Dow 30 closed negative 0.92%. The S&P 500 closed negative 0.47%. The NASDAQ closed negative 0.29%. And the small cap 2000 closed negative 1.03%. That's not good for me, because I trade another instrument in the New York session, and don't like seeing that S&P and NASDAQ down, that's for sure. Let's head over to the Eurozone, where the DAX is negative 1.17% at its close. The FTSE 100 out of London is negative 1.15%. The CAC 40 out of Paris is negative 0.74%. The Eurostoxx 50 is negative 0.92%. Lots of red, folks, lots of red. Let's head on over to Asia and see how things are going over there. The Nikkei 225 out of Tokyo. Remember, these countries are currently trading and they're up 0.73%. The S&P ASX 200 out of Australia is positive 0.29%. The Shanghai is negative 0.33%. And the Hang Seng is positive 1.02%. And the Kospi out of Seoul is currently at positive 1.04%. So if we take a look at our economic calendar, we had some Australia data come out earlier in the day. We had employment change, and it came out at negative 5.1. They were expecting 7.2. That was a pretty bad number, and that's why we're seeing the big drop in the Aussie dollar pair. We'll look at that in just a second. And their unemployment rate stayed the same at 6.2%. No data during the London session. There's some news coming out of the yen pairs today. The revised industrial production, which is showing as low impact, so nothing there. And let's see, really big stuff is all in the U.S. session today, traders. The U.S. session has CPI month-on-month, core CPI month-on-month, unemployment claims, and Empire State Manufacturing and Philly Fed Index. So quite a busy day on Wall Street when we get to the New York session. So yeah, quite busy when we get later in the day. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. So my commentary is really crazy price action on these currency pairs, and it's, it all comes down to this, folks. The markets are petrified of what the Fed is going to do, and it's showing. It's absolutely showing. We're in earnings. Earnings are, I'd say, medium. We're not getting boosting results out of earnings in our first week of earnings season. We got a long way to go on that, and the markets are just rattled by this. The China slowdown is still happening. I don't care what you read out there, folks. It all goes by the numbers. We trade by the numbers, right? And it goes by the numbers, and China's not putting out any good numbers. So, whether they're doctored numbers or they're not, the point is they're not coming out real well, and we're seeing that effect in our trading. The U.S. is definitely making an impact with the Fed not making a decision on interest rates or what they're going to do. Nobody's saying anything. Yesterday, they had horrible numbers come out in data releases in the New York session. And, I think we can axe October interest rate hikes, but the only bad thing about that is I wish they'd just get it over with, because what this is going to do is this is going to drag us along till December. And, probably half of the FOMC members who are voting are, they're not all correlated together. Like half of them want an interest rate hike and the other half does not. So who knows what's going to happen. So we just have to trade what's in front of us. And on that note, let's get moving. I can't believe I'm at 8 minutes already. Okay, this is euro dollar. This thing just continues. Finally broke out yesterday. It went up to the upside. And, now I wanted, I'm still bearish in the euro dollar, folks. I'm not bullish on the euro dollar. I don't think it's going to stay above 1,500. I would say this. I would say that you need to keep a dollar index chart open on your platform someplace. And if you don't have it, there's plenty of websites you can get free charting, and make sure you have the dollar index showing at all times. You need to know if the dollar is strong or weak. That's just the way it is, my friends. And this move here on the euro dollar, you would have seen this on the dollar index chart, right? You would have seen all red candles on the dollar index chart showing you that the dollar is weak. So I want to sell this. I want to sell this at 1460. We'll take our profits at 1404 at the S1 pivot point. Okay, so a nice 55 pip trade here if we can get in. Need to break this trend line. I'd like to see a retest. Don't think we're going to get it, but I just want to sell this. Just break down and let's go. We're going to get a bounce at the daily pivot. That it's there. If you look left of the chart, we have some price action there, so we'll probably get a bounce there. Here's the pound. The pound made a big move yesterday to the upside. This is all over the place. One day it's bearish, next day it's bullish, but the last 2 days it's been bullish, and I'm expecting this to head on back down. I don't think we're going to hit 55 and stay there. I think this 54 level is about as far as we're going to get, and I think this is going to sell off. If nothing else, people are going to start taking profits eventually. Whether it's on today, Thursday, or Friday, people are going to start to take profits. So I want to get in this. You can see I put this wedge in here, and you can see prices coming to the apex of this wedge. It's going to make a decision here. It's either going to continue to the upside or it's going to break down below. And we can sell this at 54.56. And I want to take profit at the daily pivot or the support EA, which is that yellow line, at 53.96. So, yeah, it's only a 45 pip trade. But, again, you need to keep a dollar index chart up and watch it all the time today and the rest of the week, because that is what is driving this stuff. You know, the pound puts out some good numbers, some bad numbers, but pretty much they're doing okay. So not a lot to worry about there. Let's take a look at the Aussie. The Aussie, like I just mentioned when we were talking about news and commentary, that they had numbers come out. You can see the Aussie dropped down a good amount. So I drew this trend line on this 30-minute chart, and this is like a 6-touch trend line. So this is pretty valid, folks. And if we can get a break below this trend line and a nice bearish candle, like it's 79.95, folks, I'm in all for the sell. You know, we could take this down to 72.24, you know, and this is a nice 65 pip trade. I think it's going to go lower. I think it's eventually going to dump. I think it's going to head back down. Again, you know, the dollar is going to make a difference. But this move this is a data move. This big red candle, the second red candle, is from data. And they just had bad data come out this morning. So in Thailand time, and like I said, it's almost 10 p.m. on Wall Street. So, you know, this is what it is. And, you know, I'm just want to sell this at the moment. Okay, let's take a look at the Euro Aussie. This thing, you know, did this big push to the upside earlier in the week. Here we are. It's broken down to the downside. You know, I'd like to see this get as close to that daily pivot point as possible. I'd like to sell this at 1.5716, and we're going to take profit at the S2 pivot. And also, you can say put a little star there where the 200 exponential moving averages, and we'll take profit at 1.5585. So, you know, this is like a 65, 70 pip trade, depending on where we get in. And I think it can go lower. There is price action left to the chart of the 200, but I think it can break through that and come on down below the S3, to be honest with you. I think it can get down to 54.25, 54.40. I think it can definitely get down that far. So, yeah, this thing has a long way. It can head down if price would just work with us. Take a look at the Euro Yen. Yeah, this is the same chart from yesterday, folks. It just kept the same chart. There's been no price action. The trade plan is the same. We want to sell this here. And, you know, we're coming up to this all one. So let's see what happened. But, you know, you can see for for this week, the Euro Yen has really had no price action at all, and it's just been in a sideways range here. So we're not going to do anything. We have to get some price action and some commitment from the Euro Yen. So, in my opinion, I think this is basically on a standby mode until we get some movement. So we'll probably look at it Monday or Tuesday before we start trading the Euro Yen. I'm not looking to get into this right now, that's for sure. But we want to sell it from here, right? But I don't know. I just don't know. I don't trust that 200 exponential moving average and the EA's yellow line for support. I think it's going to bounce from there. So I think maybe you should do that on a demo account. All right, this is the New Zealand dollar. Here's the New Zealand. This just popped up. You know, this is dollar weakness, folks. Listen, the Kiwi is not strong, okay? You know, they had some data come out, a little bit positive. They're talking about cutting interest rates again. So, you know, the Kiwi had some data come out, but this is not, you know, this is about dollar weakness, folks. This is all about dollar weakness. And we just need the dollar to firm up there, and we want to sell this thing. I don't want to buy the New Zealand dollar. However, you know, we have to trade what's in front of us. I can't pay my bills, you know, thinking what the New Zealand dollars or the U.S. dollar is going to do. But we just need to make a trade plan and enter trades logically and with a lot of thinking and good trade management. So I'm going to continue this bullish motion until we're proven otherwise. So we want this to pull back to the 50% fib at 67.86, and we're going to take this back up to 68.34. And you know, it's a 45 pip trade, but right now price is like really in decision mode here. It's sort of like in the middle there and hasn't made a decision on where it wants to do or what it wants to do. So this is going to have to wait till the London Open before we do absolutely anything. There's nothing to do here. So we'll just have to wait on that and see what happens. All right, that wraps up our 6 currency pairs. Wow. 15 minutes goes quick when you're recording, folks. I'd like to thank you, traders, for joining me for the market opening preview, October 15th, 2015, on a Thursday. Traders, remember this is brought to you through FXCL Excellence in Trading. Please visit our website at fxclearing.com for your trading solutions. Take care, traders, and have a great trading day, and we'll catch you next time. Take care now. Bye-bye.